to Knicks Nation. Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Knicks post-game live presented by Manscaped. CP the franchise, Ashley Moss, JD Sports Talk, CK2K. Man, oh man, things were going so well in that second quarter. Knicks were up 15 on the Toronto Raptors. No Scotty Barnes for the Raptors, no problem, because it was a tale of two quarters for Julius Randle. You know, the guy who had it cooking early, had a shot going, was creating for his teammates, turned into Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, man. Throwing the ball all over the place, stumbling and bumbling, and it just carried over. Knicks took a 15-point lead in the second quarter. The Raptors cut it down to 4, and then more turnovers in the second half, sloppy play, lousy defense. Knicks find themselves on the losing end of this one, man. 113-104, disappointing loss, letdown game, whatever you want to call it, trap game if you want to call it that. Overall, just a lackluster performance, and the Knicks' 3-game winning streak has been snapped. CK, I'll kick it off with you, man. Give me your thoughts of this game tonight, man.
Yeah, it was frustrating is the word. I can use a bunch more words, but frustrating is the big word. To have such a start that we saw, it was looking like it was gonna be, an easy game. We're back home after 2 away games, but man, that second half we just did not look inspired on defense at all. Offense was just lazy, and yeah, it looked like once we lost the lead, we were never going to get it back because nobody outside of R.J. Barrett or Mitchell Robinson looked like there was any kind of effort being put on the court, even from our bench. Just a overall terrible game. It was a very non-Tip Tony type of night. I have to use the hashtag.
Yeah.
Shout out to J Cal.
Shout out J Cal.
Yeah. Rough one,
man. JD, your thoughts, bro?
Well, it was certainly another one of those disappointing losses, only for the simple fact because of the way that they started the game. Sometimes games go different ways and you have a different opinion of it. And just see them click as much as they were in that first quarter, to see Randle play as well as he was in that first quarter going into the second. I thought this was it was leading up to being his best game of the season in terms of being a facilitator. We saw in that first quarter, possession after possession, he was finding Fournier for open threes. He was finding RJ. And that allowed him to get it cooking on offense because it started with him, identifying the double teams, driving to the paint and kicking it out to the open man. And that worked for the Knicks early on. It allowed the Knicks to be more efficient on offense. And we got, a 15-point lead on the Raptors. And then it turned all the way around. We got into bad habits, starting with Randle. He got into too much isolation. And I'm okay with isolation basketball, CP, because at the end of the day, and I know that's a big topic in the Knicks community, but when you look around the NBA, everybody's going to play ISO, especially the best player. The only issue I have in terms of Randle playing the ISO is where is he getting the ball at to start the isolation play? He's not getting the ball in situations where, he's going to put pressure on the defense. We're actually making it easier on the defense to defend us when he's getting the ball by the 3-point line, or he tries to go one-on-one in areas of the court, man. That lead to bad shots. And, and then it was the third quarter. In the third quarter, we got outscored 38-22. So that wasn't good. And to me, like I said, the 3 takeaways is Randle's performance was disappointing. To me, Tom Thibodeau is another one that I hold accountable because there was some rotational question marks that I had, as well as the way that he utilized RJ. I did not agree with, how RJ was used in this game. Yeah. When you have a player that comes off a 35-point performance, forget the opponent. Forget that it was the Pelicans and Brandon Ingram was out. That doesn't matter to me. What matters is momentum. What matters is maybe this guy has figured it out. So I was looking into this game at home for the Knicks to be more aggressive in using him. And we saw in the second half, CP, he went, I think, 7 of 8 in the second half. He only missed one shot in the second half. Only missed one shot. Yeah. And yet we didn't go to him enough. And the bench. The bench went 2 of 10 from 3. We talked about the bench being that unit that will help us either get back into a game or create separation. Tonight, the bench did not do that for us.
Yeah, and look, I told you, the question was after the Pelicans game, would the things change? Would the dynamic of the offense change with RJ going off? I said this is still going to run through Julius. And again, it was just so puzzling because in the first quarter, he has it cooking. The offense is running efficiently. They moving the rock. They had, 12 assists in either the first quarter or the first half. They're moving it very well, shooting the three very well, potent. And then second quarter, he's just chucking up fadeaway jumpers, loose with the handle. And OG's eating his food, Ash. I mean, you get 36 points for OG Anunoby, and he's having a breakout year. Make no mistake. He's on his way. Very, very solid game. 26 for Gary Trent. He's a microwave. He can get it going. Van Fleet is Van Fleet. You can't sleep on this team. This is a top 10 defense team this early in the season. They are a wing factory. They got size. They got length. They have wingspan all over the court. And they were D'ing the Knicks up from the opening tip until the end, never gave up and embarrassed us on our home court.
Yeah, I mean, look, I agree with everyone's points. JD, the only thing that I don't like when it comes to ISO with Julius Randle is statistically that's not where he flourishes, right? I don't really like running the offense through him because he is not the most consistent when doing so. So I don't know why Tibbs consistently draws up the offensive schemes to have him in that situation where time and time again, we've seen that that's not usually where he flourishes. He kind of falls short in that aspect more than he, rises to the occasion. So something has to give in that situation. But also I kind of feel like, with a team like Toronto going to the Knicks, first of all, your offense has drastically gotten better, right? You have that depth that you were craving last season. But by byproduct, your defense has suffered a little bit. Statistically, it's there. We were top 10. Now you're looking at, I believe it's like 21 right now. So the defense is already at a deficit. But what you don't have to do is make it easier for a team like Toronto to contest your shots, right? And what we were seeing between the first half and the second half is that the Knicks were really hitting their shots, right? Especially those long range three-pointers. Everything was hitting. And what happens is I feel like because the Knicks have found ways to win when they've been in a deficit in terms of losing leads, they have kind of relied in that same, they've become content in that way of functioning. And it just takes the right team. And tonight it was the Toronto Raptors to kind of capitalize on that. So what happens is that if you look at the difference between the first half and the second half, they were going to try to continue to do things, not even the second half. This was actually before the first half ended. They were continuing to do things that were working for them in the first quarter that were no longer working for them. So Toronto already knew what they were going to do. They were forcing them to take these ridiculous shots. They were forcing them to take bad selected shots. And the Knicks were falling into the trap. This was a trap game by definition. And sometimes what you need to do as a player is step back and realize the trap and work around it. Tibbs didn't really do a good job at using the rotations to go ahead and combat the trap, and the players themselves were constantly falling into it. The Raptors already knew they're not shooting well from the three, but I'm not going to give them an easy shot in the paint. I'm not going to give them those easy mid-range shots. I'm going to force them to take ridiculous shots, and every single time it worked. They were out there at one point just chucking up things almost with their eyes closed, hoping that it was going to work. It just does not work. It's not a conducive way to play basketball. There was no defense being played for a good quarter of that game. And throughout the game, there was hardly any continuity on the floor. It was a disaster. It looked like you were trying to outshoot them, and you couldn't outshoot them, at least not this game. ISO ball killed us. Lack of defense killed us. It was just a disaster from all the way around. Julius Randle did not look interested to be there. I don't know if he was having a bad night. The plus and the minus, I mean, everybody from RJ Barrett all the way down to Kemba Walker was in the minus. It was just a disaster from all aspects of the court. That's not how you play basketball. That's not the New York Knicks basketball that we've been seeing. And something's got to give, because you can't continue to maneuver like that and hope for a winning outcome. It's just not going to happen.
CK, it's like they just get way too complacent with a lead, man. Once they get the lead, it's kind of like they just take their foot off the gas. And that hasn't been our identity even last year. You know, even last year, you're still putting pressure on teams defensively, and you playing most of the time 48 minutes of ball. It just seems like we've seen it over and over and over again against Chicago, against the Pelicans, now against this Raptor team. You have big leads, and they get cut down in no time because you're taking your foot off the gas. And, you know, this team is early in the season. They're going to have to learn from this because you're going to start playing better teams. And you're not going to be able to get away with that, as this is what happened. 3-game losing streak snapped because for some reason they just did not come with the same intensity after the first quarter, and it all cascaded downhill. And started with Julius, man. Started with the head of the snake. You can't play like that, you know, all loose with the handles, loosey-goosey. I couldn't understand what he was doing out there, bro. I really could not understand it. 3 turnovers again tonight. Clyde called him out on the telecast. It wasn't good.
He sure did.
Look, man.
Yeah,
what kills me, though, is that Tibbs has the film. He doesn't, and this is not even just this season. Tibbs has the film from the previous seasons, and there's a lot that Julius Randle does well. Let's not go ahead and, you know, I know in the chat people are quick to turn on certain players when they have a bad game, but let's not ignore the fact that Julius Randle does a lot well. He is not the guy that you want to run your offense through. That's not a knock to him. It just does not work. He's not an ISO player. He's not somebody who has the gravitas to go ahead and consistently run an offense. And for some reason, Tibbs keeps trying to force him to be the center of the offense, and it's not going to work. I know that there are games where it does work, and that's great, but you can't rely on the fact that it sometimes works. What is consistently going to work? What is consistently going to result in wins? That is not what's going to consistently result in wins. And you see it when you play a team who can match with you in a lot of areas of the game and can also beat you in a lot of areas of the game. You are going to continuously to fall short because that is not the guy who needs to be the center of your offense. That simply just is not his game.
Right.
Who is going to be the center of the offense? Once you figure that out, a lot of the other issues will start to fall in place. But as you continue to force this, the way that this offense has been constructed, the more you continue to force this, the more up and down games you're going to have, just like this one. And that's as simple as it's going to be.
Robert De Niro in the chat, CK, said his turnovers killed all the momentum and started in the second quarter. Killed all of it, man. Get ahead with your points, bro.
I was just gonna say we were playing with fire for those 3 games you mentioned, and here we got burnt because all those happened in the last 3 minutes, 2 minutes when we had leads and we were able to survive those games. This time they got us a lot earlier, and we saw that it doesn't work the same way when you got 2 whole quarters. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that is to what Ashley had just mentioned. You know, a lot of that comes to we're going to be playing through our leader, who's supposed to be Julius Randle. And if you're not going to take care of the ball in some of those instances, you're not going to take the right shots in those instances. And the body language, and I've been trying to ignore it, but you definitely saw it today. The body language was just off, and it's something that you don't like to see, especially when we were still winning or we were just down by a point or 2 points in the third quarter or in the second quarter. Those kind of things you don't want to see. And then I also, my last point with Julius Randle for tonight is I just don't like it feels like, and I could be wrong. If y'all don't feel that way, that's cool. But it just feels like there's a competition with your own teammate rather than a competition against the other team. Mm-hmm, I said it or Saturday when it was just you, me, and CP that I want to see a game where both Julius and RJ are on. And it feels like in a game like tonight where, to JD's point, which I think he put perfectly, when you know the kind of game that RJ Barrett had the night before, and he started this game just as hot. He was just as consistent, just as hot. And yes, Julius was as well. But why take the attention away from him and take some of those shots that we saw in that second quarter?
I had no doubts that Tibbs was going to go through Randle tonight. I had no doubts. I even despite RJ's game, and he had another solid game tonight. 27 points, 9 of 13 from the field, splashing from downtown, 5 of 8 from downtown. Finishing again strong tonight. 4 of 6 from free throw line, 6 boards. Played well. For some reason, we just didn't go to him enough to get this done tonight. For some reason, we just didn't do it, man. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. I want to shout out Ike Taylor. Sends a $50 super chat. He says, we need to protect home court. All our L's are at the crib. We need to take pride and lock it up in the garden. Right now you lose to a Raptor team. Again, a hungry Raptor team, 5-3. And then you lose to Orlando at home. So,
And the super chat talks about locking up, and I've talked about how, one of the things that I'm going to be watching from this team is situations like this where we're down 10, 11 points. Remember last season,
yeah.
our defense was our ability to get back into games, slowing the game down. Well, this season, the identity of the team has changed a little bit, even though we have a defensive minded coach, into more offensive minded, shooting more 3-point shots, trying to push the pace a little bit. And, is this team going to be in trouble when we're down double digits? Because now we're trying to, get back in the game, just shooting shots. But are we going to be able to get enough stops at those situations? I talked about how it looks like early on, and I don't want to put any, stamps on this team because it's early, but it looks like right now we are a team that is going to be able to get stops, or we're going to have to get stops in key moments.
Yeah.
But I don't know that we're going to be
I
consistently
don't think it's going to be consistent.
stout throughout the 48 minutes like we were last season. So when you have, and that's why having kind of a balanced offense and having a system to where, like Ashley mentioned, a little bit less isolation, and utilizing our weapons is going to be key. And the bench is going to be key, because when we don't have it going, it's going to be interesting to see if our defense is going to be able to keep us in games or get us back in games.
Yeah.
So far, that hasn't been the case.
It's also extremely concerning. And, like everybody said, it's still early in the season, but just from a more analytical standpoint, it's extremely concerning to see that our last 3 games have been in situations, we have blown double-digit leads. You look at Chicago, you look at the Pelicans, and now you look at Toronto. That is not a way to play basketball. And again, people sometimes get content in the fact that they formulated habits and have figured out how to maneuver through those habits. But just because you're able to come out of a hole that you put yourself in that you shouldn't be in the first place, if you have a double-digit lead on somebody throughout predominantly most of the game, you should win that game. There's no reason that team should ultimately catch up to now where they have the
15.
lead. And now you're fighting for the win.
15 in the second quarter, Ash.
It's asinine. It's
15.
absolutely asinine. It's absolutely asinine, and it's unexcusable. It's unexcusable for a team that's this deep.
15.
It's unexcusable for a team that was a top 10 defense last year. I understand the defense suffered because the offense got better. It's a game of give and take. But to go ahead and just be drastically in the opposite direction, this is not how you win playoff series, and this is ultimately not how you win championships. Not saying the championship is coming anytime soon, but playoff series are in the future. Playoff series are an option. Playoff series are a very real possibility. This is not how you win them at all. It's absolutely insane.
This Raptors team, like I said, from the opening tip, they were ready to work, man. And I got to shout out Anunoby because he was great tonight. He was great. He's having a breakout year. He was going at Randle every chance he got. He sent the message out there. He was phenomenal tonight. Trent got it going. He started talking, and again, Van Fleet is Van Fleet. They gave I can't even pronounce this guy's last name, but he had a good game. Mihailiuk. 15 points plus 8 on the field. Trent Jr. almost 50% from the field. Again, they had it cooking, man. You can't sleep on this team. And shout out my guy David Kowalenko from Forzano Law. He texted me. He's like, "What'd you think about this game today?" I said, "Look, this is a trap game. No Scotty Barnes. Don't sleep on this Raptors team, man, because they play hard. They play defense, and this is what they did tonight from beginning to end." I want to shout out Davon Ellis. Sends a super chat. He says, "What is Tibbs doing? I'm tired of the D Rose disrespect. 15 minutes a game, Rose Hive. Tight. Really, Tibbs has Burks running point guard and Rose standing in the corner. Let D Rose be D Rose. Let him create. He makes the right plays. Knicks will win. Simple." Well, D Rose got 20 minutes tonight, sir, and Kemba got 28. But I understand it. Rose Hive has been upset. Not enough D Rose. He did close with Quickly tonight. No Fournier. Quickly's been struggling with his shot all season.
That was questionable.
So that was questionable, JD. I was like, I didn't really understand why Quickly was out there to close when he hasn't hit a shot all year.
I get what he was thinking. I get what he was thinking. I said I get what he was thinking because IQ, if you saw early, IQ was very active in terms of his energy defensively. Yeah. He was getting up on, Malachi Flynn, and he was very active. He hit that 1-3. So maybe you're thinking, okay, let's get it going. And I thought, IQ missed 2 huge threes. The score was
Huge.
Mitch went to the free throw line, and I was saying, okay, it's 189. If Mitch can make these 2 free throws, this is going to be, I thought, the beginning.
Yeah.
And Mitch goes and he makes the 2 free throws, makes it 191. IQ then gets a wide open 3 on the corner, misses, right? And then they score. Now it goes 104-91. Then IQ gets another opportunity, 104-91, open, misses. Those 2 misses right there, I think, in terms of us having the ability to come back, that was the game right there. And I didn't understand, why not going. Now, Fournier was 1 of 6 in the second half. Maybe it was that, but he's a proven scorer. He's a proven shooter, and he's already proven early on this season that, he can be one of your closing options. So
right.
I didn't understand that.
Yeah, that one was a bit questionable for me. What I saw that was a positive sign, especially in the beginning, was again the area where we've missed Mitch when he wasn't with us, and that was on the offensive rebounding side. 5 offensive rebounds for the Block Ness Monster tonight, keeping possessions alive. I thought he was great there. Finished with 12 boards on overall. Missed a couple bunny dunks. Missed man, if he would have caught that behind his head alley-oop from Burks, that would have had the Garden rocking, and then he missed a couple other dunks and whatnot. But overall, I thought Mitch did fairly well. C. Kane just keeping it alive. But Taj goes down with a sprained ankle. They bring in Sims. Where is Nerlens Noel? I'm telling you, we can't keep playing with fire, man. We can't keep playing with fire. Mitch keeps hitting the deck. You knock on wood that he can make it through. But we need Nerlens back, man. We need this depth in the front court because Taj now down with a sprained ankle. See how long that is. But again, we playing with fire, bro.
Yeah, I was surprised we didn't go that Obi route. I thought tonight would have been the night to try that out because, like you mentioned, man, there was a point where Mitch fell again, and we were on 4-on-5 for a good few seconds before Mitch made it up the court. It's just, I don't know what's going on. We're not getting any updates on that. I thought Jericho Sims was good until he wasn't in those 5 minutes that he played. Man, I don't know. Mitch Robinson scares me, but he's just so valuable for this team. He had the Garden rock, and he like I said, him and RJ Barrett seemed like the only 2 that just from point A to point B were active on both ends of the floor, defensively and offensively. They were, they looked like they're the only ones that were inspired. But to your point, man, I don't know what's going on with Nerlens. I don't know, and I hope Taj's injury isn't too big.
I also, outside of that, Nerlens and Taj are definitely a concern. More Nerlens than less Taj. For me, I don't like this 3-ball game that we've been playing lately. I really don't. What's option B? What's option C? Because here's the thing. I understand every team has a good night of shooting, and some teams have those games more than others. But the Knicks don't have the Splash Brothers. This is not a team with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. You can't thoroughly and solely rely on that 3-ball. You can't thoroughly and only rely on hitting those long range shots. Yes, you'll get lucky. And yes, if you go ahead and you're making good shot selection and you're going ahead and orchestrating the offense and the defense to make it conducive to scoring those shots, then more than likely you'll have really good scoring nights. But I don't see any mid-range from guys. I don't see any guys driving it in the paint. I see guys settling for these long range shots. And if they don't get it, well, try again next time. It's like, when does enough become enough? Well,
I think a lot of it is about rhythm. And again, what we saw from the first quarter when they were hitting their threes is they were playing a lot off the drives, off of Julius's drives, off of Fournier's drives, Kemba's drives. They were getting in the teeth of the defense, kicking it out for wide open threes. They were getting good shots. I thought in the second half, I thought they settled.
My question is what happened? That's fine. I have no problem if you're getting good shots and you're shooting well from the 3. Great. But what happens in the course of a game, and this is what we're not seeing, when those shots aren't falling anymore, what do you do next? Instead of continuing trying to get them to fall, what else is there? And we saw today, they kept trying to make the same shot. Bro, it wasn't happening. It wasn't there for you tonight at a certain point. What else do you do?
Well, for one, you got to start playing defense.
Well, there's 2 answers to that right now. CP, you just said it, defense, and the other, go to RJ.
Go to Broadway for a bucket, man.
For
Stop
real.
playing
Let's
around.
be real. those shots that we were taking when the shots were missing were not smart shots.
They were terrible
it
shots,
still
bro.
comes down to us getting good shots up, and it felt like at some point we stopped getting good shots up. I hear your point, Ashley, but at the same time, we were rushing shots, taking shots off of a screen that made no damn sense.
Yeah.
A lot of the shots became stupid shots towards the end of the game. So I don't know if I can really knock that on the shot missing compared to just frustration and just lack of getting the right shot like we were doing in the first quarter.
It's not only about you can get a good look at a shot and the shot still doesn't hit. And here's the thing is that you don't solely rely on the three ball, especially when they're not falling, whether you're getting a good look or not. But more so, obviously, when you're not getting a good look, it seems like the Knicks almost freeze up when plan A isn't working. What is plan B? What is plan C? You're having there's 16 turnovers resulting in points that you cannot afford to give up. You're not playing any defense. And then also on the other side of the ball, you keep settling for the same type of shot. Whether or not it's a good look or not, doesn't matter. What else can you do out there? And that was missing tonight.
Sounds like you're holding Tibbs accountable.
Let me get.
Let's
get to the phones. Right. Let's get to the phones here. What the people got to say. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. I want to get to a couple phone calls. Then I want to segue into our new sponsor. Because even though the Knicks lost tonight, doesn't mean the people at home got to lose, man. We're going to send the people home some winners tonight. Jay from Florida, kick us off. What's going on, man? I don't know if I should have started with the Debbie.
Yeah, run it up for your boys. Hit that like button.
Let's go.
Hit that subscribe button ASAP.
Do it. Let's go.
Yo, I don't know what to say about these losses, man. It's a bad loss. You can't disrespect OG Anunoby playing Randle. You got to remember OG Anunoby checked Bron as a rookie when they was playing against Bron in the Eastern Conference Finals. Mm-hmm. So OG can play defense. That's no joke. He's strong as Randle, is fast. It's like mirroring yourself. Something wrong with Randle. I don't know who got kids on the panel, CK, CP, JD. I don't know if you got kids. But he got a newborn baby. He might be smoking at the house with Kendra. Kendra might be waking up, doing 3 a.m. bottles. Yeah, it might be smoke at the house, man. It looked like it's smoke at the house. He looked a little tired. He got a newborn. He got to call his mother-in-law.
Yeah. Man, might not be sleeping. Somebody. You're right, Jay. He might not be sleeping. Who knows, man? Who knows, man?
Maybe he's working on the next baby.
Yeah, who knows? He might not be sleeping, man.
Yeah, who knows, man? Who knows what he's doing? Your man Quick is shooting 28% from three. Some things that Quick does, I don't know, man. I've been saying since last year, Quick does some questionable things. He's shooting threes for no reason. He had Obi wide open on the lob. He got fouled for a floater, but you had Obi cutting to the rim wide open for a Quick two. Just make good decisions, Quick, man. Quick just don't make good decisions all the time. You got Grimes on the bench, man. See what Grimes got, man. Grimes got a lot of size, 6'5". He could play great defense. He's as good of a shooter, probably. Play Grimes, man. Experiment. The whole Jazz situation, Ash was talking about the threes. I feel like the Knicks I feel like Quinn Snyder and Tibbs got something going on, because I read a Jazz article and it said that Snyder implemented Tibbs' ice pick and roll defense. Now you got the Knicks basically playing like the Jazz. Mitch is holding the ball, looking for cutters. They shooting a lot of threes. So the mid-range ain't really in the Jazz offense. We don't really got people that can shoot the mid-range outside of RJ Kemba and maybe Fournier. Randle ain't no real mid-range shooter. He want to pound the air off the basketball. So they living and dying by the three. I don't know, man. I feel like this team's going with around 43 games. You can't have Taj playing big minutes. You got to invest. Nerlens and Burks is a complete waste of money, like I said. I ain't want to re-sign Nerlens and Burks. We ain't seen Nerlens. It feels like since they got paid, people have been a lot less engaged in playing basketball. Randle got signed. He hasn't been the same. We ain't even seen Nerlens. Burks is a shell of himself from last year since he got paid.
You heard that, CP?
Giving these guys their money and they're not producing on the court. It's a fact, brother. I'm gone. Respect to everybody.
Salute, man. Salute, man.
All right, Jay.
Had to take a shot at my guy Burks before I walked off. I see you, Jay. All right. No doubt, man. No doubt. I got you. My guy was hitting shots in the first half, though. But, overall, the bench wasn't good tonight. The bench wasn't good. Haven't heard much from Obi. 6 points from Obi. Nothing from Taj. 4 points for D-Rose. He was 2 for 8 from the field tonight. You had Burks, 5 points, 2 for 3. And Quickly 1 for 7. Quickly hasn't shot the ball well at all this season. So bench, which was our strong point last year, has been pretty average, save for D Rose on a couple of games. Been pretty average. So all the way around, man, we got to get it together, man, on both ends of the rock. Both ends of the ball. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. I want to hear from let me hear from Book from Queens. Book, what's going on?
Hey, everybody. Great to see the panel come together in our night of pain. This is a very embarrassing loss. And let's get down to the nuts and bolts of why it happened.
Let's go.
To start off with Julius, I actually tweeted this out. It's very frustrating watching him tonight. I hope the conspiracy theory about his newborn wearing him out is true, just because it wasn't the shooting, because he actually didn't even shoot that terrible on the whole night. His effort just wasn't there on the rebounds, chasing down loose balls. And to you guys' point about those mid-range shots, this team is well equipped to excel in the mid-range off of those catch and drive, pump fake on the three-pointer stuff, because we have so many shooters, people are going to be scrambling. In fact, Toronto's overplaying us in the entire second half, right? But the issue is when you have the ball sticking with one person, when you're struggling to get passes because people aren't putting in the effort to get open, they're not getting low and sealing people off, that slows the whole possession down. Now the team's not scrambling, and that's when you get these kind of standstill, these super late pick and roll concession shots. And I don't want to blame it all on Julius, but I would say from an effort standpoint, he was the one who stuck out. Quick's not making shots. I think Tibbs left him in because Quick was playing well. He just was shooting bad. I don't want to confuse the two things. If Quick shots were going in, all of a sudden you see his no turnovers, you see his 5 assists, you see him with he missed RJ. RJ's waving his hand, then RJ cuts in and he sees him, he makes up for it, eagerly passing. He did that with Obi as well. So, I don't want to jump out the window because it's a painful loss. Sometimes this happens, but the only thing that concerns me is the last few games I'm seeing Julius lollygagging, and I'm also not seeing, and I'll leave you guys with this, Kemba Walker in the pick and roll has actually been very good. His floater's on point. His pull-up threes are on point. He has to develop chemistry with Mitch so that his lobs could be on point. And if there was one criticism I would have for Tibbs in this particular game, when almost everybody except RJ was off, is that I didn't see enough Kemba when Kemba wasn't off.
Yeah. Good call. Good call, Book. Good observations, man. Appreciate the call, bro. And
thanks for having me as always.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah, like you called it, man. It wasn't the all shooting night for Julius. It was the effort. The effort was just lousy in 2 quarters. I did not understand it. It wasn't like he was gassed or anything. Like, this was literally, 1 quarter, you coming out gangbusters. What do you have, 18 points in the first quarter?
18
points. Second quarter, he's not even at Madison Square Garden. Real talk. I'm like, yo, where is this bad at right now? So,
shout out to Kaiden too. Bless his little heart, man. Because after that first quarter, they had him on video talking about my dad's going for 50. I was like, oh. Yeah.
Tough. That's tough, man. Tough. Salute to Christoph, sent a super chat. He says the refs are absolutely garbage. Why was Randle handling the ball? Just a terrible game. That is the number one question from all Knicks fans every night. Why is Julius handling the ball so much when we got 10 guards on the team that can play make and bring the ball up and play make? King Matthews. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
No, I was just gonna say I will say it when we utilize our offense through our guards or through our wings, it does look like we get easier shots and we fall into a better rhythm. The only thing with Randle is when Randle buys into it, we also look good when he is handling the ball. But as long as he is, he's driving and he is making quick, precise decisions as he did in the first quarter.
Facts.
Because in the first quarter, we were running through him, and that is what got us a 15-point lead.
Yeah.
So there's a delicate balance there, and I think that's where he's a little off mentally in terms of figuring out what is his strength. Now, we see it on the outside looking in, and that's why I think, Tibbs has to sit with them. They have to watch film, show him that first quarter, show him those plays, and you have to drill it to him that, listen, this is how we want to play basketball. This is where you're effective. We have options now. Let's utilize the options. And then Tibbs has to also be flexible in, even when he's out on the court, in changing up the offense. And maybe they went into the season with a certain identity, and Thibodeau finds a little difficult, 6-7 games in, to change it up. But I think we see the trend here in terms of what is the strength of this team and what players can actually maximize the weapons around. And moving forward, CP, is it time to give RJ, at least that's the keys, to be the second option?
Keys. Give
Broadway him the keys
man.
to be that second option. I understand you want to kind of pass the ball around. Let's give RJ the ball at the corner three. I'm past him being a corner three shooter. I'm starting to be at a point now where we actually have to find a package of plays where we go to him. Like we're going to cross half court, and RJ, you're going to get the ball.
Yeah, they have it. You got to use it.
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't want to mess up this rhythm. 35 points, 27 points. He could have had 40 tonight if we would have utilized them correctly. You don't want to mess this up. This right now could be that moment where a player, year 3, could start to blossom into something much better. I don't want to mess that up. So we have to make sure that we see that, we identify that, and that moving forward, we start to utilize them in that way. Because you see the emotions of RJ on the floor. And I told you this. I haven't seen RJ this emotional after plays. He's hitting a 3 against the Pelicans, and he's going like this. When was the last time you saw RJ do that?
He's getting that killer instinct, man. He wants it.
You're starting to see the confidence in him as well, and it's starting to show in his emotion on the court. And I hope that this coaching staff is able to see what's really happening in front of their eyes, and we take advantage of it.
True indeed. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up on Free Squad. Let me get to Bailey on the Discord, and then we'll do our sponsorship announcement. Bailey on the Discord, what's going on? CK, this your homie, man. Bailey in the building.
Aussie Bailey?
Yep. All I have from... Yo, what's up, bro?
Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. How you doing?
Oh, that game. I have never screamed at my TV more times. Give RJ the ball.
Bailey's tight, man. Yeah, we should have gave RJ the rock down the stretch for sure, man. For sure.
It just disappoints me that we got Kemba, IQ, and Julius all trying to play hero ball in the fourth. I was like, just go back to what you were doing in the first half. Just move the ball around, get open shots. They were doing well. Then they just went away from it. We were getting destroyed on the rebounds as well, which didn't help either. The Raptors just kept getting offensive rebound after offensive rebound. It's just frustrating to watch. But can't win every game. Got to move on to the next one. Hopefully we can beat Indiana.
Yeah, man. Absolutely, and appreciate the call. We got to go see the Hicks on Wednesday and knock their block off, man. They're 1-6 right now in the campaign. So got to bounce back. But as you said with the whole rebounding situation, Raptors just wanted it more than us, man. And as I said, they try to set that tone from the opening tip. They withstood our barrage in the first quarter, and then they hung in there. Give credit to the other team on the other side. It's a well-coached team, and they didn't give up.
The Raptors played way better than us. They deserve to win. It's just that felt like a trap game, like the Orlando one. Just felt like a lot of people thought we were gonna win. It's like, saying that we're probably going to lose this because it's like the Magic wanted it more and the Raptors wanted it more than us today. I was like, we gotta I don't know.
Yeah, it's all right, man. So good. We got bounce back Wednesday, another game Wednesday, man.
And I went to the Matrix.
Yeah, last night you went into the Matrix, JD. That was us this time, man.
All right, just want to make sure I'm still here.
Yeah, we're back. Yeah,
I'm up this high, and I kind of want to jump.
You definitely went into the Matrix last
night. As I was saying, it was Bally from down under.
She had to get it out.
She had to, man. She had to. She has no filter.
I feel like it's getting better.
It was decent. Yeah. Much better than last year. You know what I'm saying? Much better than your rookie year.
I feel
Good
like it's
start to
getting
the
more
season.
Crocodile Dundee and less Mary Poppins.
Yeah,
You know, I
yeah,
feel like I'm getting there.
I feel that. I feel that. You know, it's much better than your rookie year. I'll tell you, you're making strides, Ash. You're making strides, man. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Tough loss, man. But we are hearing from the people of the night. I want to shout out King Matthews for 2 super chats. He says, number 1, not gonna lie, those refs are straight garbage. Number 2, IQ no hate, but you gotta get benched after that performance. Being in and putting in Grimes. Number 3, it's still early to stay humble. King Matthews also said, Knicks fans chill. We're still 5-2. We move on and get ready for the next game. Also, Gibson didn't play much in the second half because of a sprained ankle. We also got out rebounded. So I love how one super chat, he's like, yo, we got to put IQ on the bench. And the next super chat, he's like, yo, y'all got to chill, man.
Don't overreact. No panic moves. No panic moves. But bench IQ.
Bench IQ, though. So shout out to King Matthews, man. That was hilarious. All right, so for the sponsorship announcement. Now, you know, we do rock with Manscaped, and Manscaped is the presenting sponsor for the season. But we do have a new sponsor, man, and I want to shout out our friends at Prize Picks. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Prize Picks has the best NBA daily fantasy prop game on the market. It is daily fantasy made easy. You can literally make your picks in 60 seconds. Prize Picks offers more NBA props than any other daily fantasy prop operator and offers all the superstar players as well as bench players. You can pick all the Knicks and you know, only record even the bench players that only get, you know, a handful of minutes. You can have those options there. On Prize Picks NBA, you could choose between points, assists, rebounds, 3-pointers, and combinations the like. The promo code for Prize Picks is, you want to use promo code KFTV. Let me get that up there on the screen for you guys. And then I'm going to show you guys how to play. Now, JD's watching the Giants game. I did choose some picks from the Giants game. So tonight's code is, you got to go to prizepicks.com, or you could download the app on the App Store or Google Play Store, and the promo code is KFTV. When you use the promo code KFTV, they're going to match 100% of your deposit up to $100. So if you deposit $20, they're going to give you match $20. If you deposit 50, they'll match you 50. You deposit 100, they'll match you 100. So let me show you just exactly how to get it in here. So to everybody in the chat, Chiefs driving on the Giants right now. JD, how you feeling right now?
This is, well, I know Ash is happy.
Yeah, Ash is thrilled.
I mean, I'm not even worried about y'all because I'm 6-1. How about them Cowboys?
All right, so let me get to it. So once you go to prizepicks.com, you're going to sign up here. Down here is where you're going to enter the promo code KFTV. And like I said, they're going to match your deposit up to 100% at up to $100. Now, here is how you play. Let me just set my joint up real here. Okay. All right, here's how you guys play. So once you get into Prize Picks, this is the main screen here. Now, at the top, you can choose from all sports. NFL, NBA, you have the World Series coming on tomorrow. You have NHL going on over the weekend. You can, choose between college football. Take your pick. And as you said, you have options for different statistical categories. So obviously in the NBA, you can pick points over under for certain players. You can pick rebounds over under for certain players. Assists, 3-pointers, and free throws made. Very, very simple. So I'll just run through the picks that I made tonight, and I'll show you how you can win money here. Okay, so what I did tonight was, number one, I picked after the Knicks game, so I didn't have any Knicks selections. But first person I picked was Desmond Bane. Memphis is at home against the Denver Nuggets. Desmond Bane has been on a tear his last 6 games, averaging 18 points per game. So I took the over on points for Desmond Bane at 15.5. Next selection I made, I took Ja Morant. Also on a tear, I'm going Ja Morant over 23 points in the game against Denver. So those are my 2 picks. You have to pick 2 minimum and up to 5 picks. So you pick between 2 and 5 picks. So I picked Desmond Bane. I picked Ja Morant. Now, I moved over to D'Angelo Russell. Minnesota at home against Orlando. I picked D'Lo over 18.5 points. Now, you can also mix and match sports. So I took 3 basketball picks. Now I'm going to take 2 football picks. Now, I looked at this Giants and Chiefs game. You know, my Giants are down bad right now. All my Giants fans in the chat, you guys know the vibes right now. It's a tough season for us. Now we hanging in there with the Chiefs. I took under for Daniel Jones in passing yards, 251 passing yards. So I chose Daniel Jones, and I took under 251 passing yards. So that was my 4th pick. And on my 5th pick, I took Devontae Booker, which was under 48 rushing yards. Okay? Now.
Womp womp.
I know, JD. I went against my squad. Tonight. But that's just how I was feeling when I came into the game. Okay? Now, where you see here, you can enter your bids. You can enter $10, $20, whatever the case may be. And there are different multipliers for the amount of picks you get correct. So, for instance, of the 5 picks, if you get 3 correct, you get 0.4 times your money. If you get 4 correct, you double your money. So if you put in $30, you can get $60. Now, if you got all 5 picks correct, it is a 10 times multiplier. So for tonight, if I would have gotten all 5 picks correct, I would have gotten and put in $30, I would have gotten $300. Because that is the 10xer. So again, this is very easy. Obviously, you want to check the rules out. Always check the rules before you play. But it's very easy. As I said, you enter the promo code KFTV. They're going to match your deposit 100% up to $100. And you go in and you make your picks. Anywhere between 2 to 5 picks. You can play basketball. You can play football. You can cross. You know, you can play both basketball, football. If you want to do couple basketball, couple football, and a baseball, you could do that as well. And then you just place entry, and you watch your picks. And that is essentially how Prize Picks works. So once again, you can go to prizepicks.com to sign up, or you can download the app from the App Store or the Google Play Store and enter promo code KFTV to get a 100% match on your deposit up to $100. JD, you've been playing, man. How you been doing, man? JD, you in there?
Uh-oh.
I lose JD?
Where'd JD go?
Oh,
Is
he's
JD
here.
in the Matrix? I think JD's on mute.
JD, can you hear us, bro?
I think JD's on mute again. like he's looking around. He's all lost.
Yeah.
JD's on mute, man.
You hear me?
Yeah,
There
loud
you
and clear,
are.
loud and clear,
Am I
loud and
good?
clear. Man. Yeah, loud and clear. You are good to go, sir. You are good to go,
Oh.
man. And the Chiefs, it's good. So 1 minute left for Daniel Jones to march down the field. All right, back to the phones we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Where'd he go?
Did we lose JD again? I don't know. I don't think JD's hearing us much, man.
No. Going in and out. He's fighting it, man. Keep fighting, JD.
Keep fighting, bro. Keep fighting, JD. All right, let's get to the phones. Back to the phones we go. And I want to hear from JJ from Brooklyn. JJ, what's going on?
Yo, what's good? How's everyone doing, man?
What's good, man? How you feeling, bro?
I'm tight, man. Just the game changed at the end of the first half, man. Randle, we're up double digits. What did we do? ISO Randle, spinning into double teams. He's holding the ball too long, making terrible passes. Then before you know it, we're down 4 at half. That changed the whole game. That momentum swing, it carried over to the second half. When you watch their guards, when you watch Van Fleet and OG, these guys, and Gary Trent, they're fighting over screens. They're getting through passing lanes. And you watch our guards, which we knew this, these guys are getting burned. Rose, Quickly, Kemba, these guys are getting blown by all game. They're not rotating. They're not getting to shooters. Like, when our guards are struggling like this defensively, why not put in Grimes and McBride? At least one of them, we need defense. Our perimeter defense is going to be the downfall of this team. It's what's going to kill us. As as well as
Insane.
the ISO Randle. There's no need to do that at the end of the first half. We're rolling. Let RJ keep going. RJ's feeling it. Let him keep getting the rock. And it's just, and the thing also, I didn't like when Randall after the game, he's saying, "Oh, they didn't do anything to stop me," and just take some accountability, bro. You're playing like trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least RJ after the game, he's like, "This is the Garden. You gotta protect it." Like, that's what I like to hear. You know, you gotta play better, man. Defensively, he didn't bring it at all, Randall. He's not rebounding. I knew this would be a tough matchup for him when they went small. When they went small tonight with Barnes being out and they had OG at the 4. I figured that would be a tough matchup for him because OG's got a little quickness. You know, he's a little smaller, so just definitely a frustrating night, man. You guys have a good one, all right?
You too,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Hang in there, man. We'll be back on Wednesday, man. We'll bounce back
Thanks,
Wednesday.
man.
It's one of
Let's
those
go.
nights, man. One of those nights.
Yeah.
You know? Hang in there, bro. JD, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good.
Let's go.
What was the
do want-
Matrix like? Did we win? Did we win a chip?
Yeah, you had a hard time hearing us, JD. We didn't know what happened to you, man. We didn't know if they got you again, man. We saw you battling, though.
I don't know if
We
it's the
saw.
heights. Like, I'm all the way up here.
Right.
I don't know.
Oh, that's definitely the reason. That's all you had to say. Next.
Damn,
I'm
bro.
literally almost fixing the roof up here. So,
I'm
Let's go.
saying it.
It's the
but
altitude,
you
man.
know, yeah. In terms of Prize Picks, I think the best thing about it is just how simple it is to just set up. So I think everyone that would be interested, you know, you get pitched some of these things and it's a hassle and you don't want to go through it. It's really simple. Even registering like your account, it's just an email, your name, and that's it. And I've had a good week, man. You remember I picked RJ back to back on the overs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was a good pick by you because I damn sure wasn't confident in that one. I wasn't confident earlier this week. I wasn't.
Yeah, so it's good, man. Everybody can test their little, you know, some knowledge and you can have some fun with this. And just with $100 or a few bucks, you know, you use 10% of your account and you can play a lot of games before it runs out. Hopefully it doesn't.
True story. True indeed, man. Promo code KFTV. Shout out to our new sponsor, Prize Picks. All right, back up on the phones we go. Let's take a couple more calls before we wrap. It was a bum night tonight. Ari, what's going on?
Oh God.
Hey, what's up, CP? What's going on,
How you
guys?
feeling, man? Ari, are you playing Prize Picks, man? Are you gonna play Prize Picks? Promo code KFTV.
Yeah, a couple questions with that. Number one, is there live prop bets or no?
Yeah, so actually, they do have second half. They do have second half updates. So once you set your picks pregame, check back at halftime, and they will have more props for you at halftime.
Okay, and do they have European soccer or no?
I believe so. I believe they do have football for you, sir.
On it, Ari.
Yeah, Ari's on it.
Okay.
Ari's on it. You can tell he's motivated. Let me check. Let me check here. But I believe they do. I'll get back to you on that.
Yes, they do.
They do? Okay, they do have European football.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, beautiful. All right, so first of all, a great call, JJ. I agree with a lot of what he said. You know, I do have a silver lining, which I'll get into obviously at the end. But you know, here's the thing, man. You know, this ISO Randle, like I've been saying, this is garbage for years, and I don't understand why. You know, people in the chat right now are saying like, "Oh, he's giving me Carmelo Anthony vibes." Listen, man, Julius Randle isn't even in the same stratosphere as Carmelo Anthony is as a basketball player. Never was, never will be. Not even close. I'm closer to Julius Randle than Randle is to Carmelo Anthony. All right, like that's how far away
He's sipping tonight.
Julius
Let's
Randle is
go.
from Carmelo Anthony. All right, that's like ridiculous. All right, and I agree with Ashley. Like, why? Like, what has Julius Randle ever proven as an isolation player to have the entire offense run through him? Like, he's never proven it. He's never came through in an isolation situation when it cost
I mean,
time.
in fairness, bro,
Ever
he
besides-
did last year, man. He did last year. Come on, man. I mean, he did
Not
last
when
year.
it counted. Not when
Well,
it
I
counted.
mean, yeah, you could say
Not when
that,
it
but the
counted.
regular season still counts for something, bro.
No, listen. I'm sorry. He's not an isolation basketball player. He's not. All right. He's best suited, and the reason why I feel like we fall into these ISO Randle situations is when Kemba and D Rose don't have it really going. Then he feels the pressure to kind of get it. When Kemba and D Rose have good games, you know the Knicks usually win. Randle doesn't do the ISO garbage, and it's usually a good game. I don't know what was going on with D Rose today. He looked like he was tired. I don't know.
Yeah, he didn't have it.
Wasn't hitting Kemba wasn't hitting threes. But here's the thing about Randle, man. Like, when Randle's bad, he's like really, really bad, man. Like, you know, like he's not like he just misses shots. He takes bad shots.
Yeah.
He turns the ball over. He doesn't play defense. He takes up too much usage. Bro, the guy shot 29% in the playoffs. 29, not 33, not 36. He shot 29%. All right? When he's bad, he is really, really bad. And I'm with Ashley. I don't understand why they always feel the need to run the offense through him. Even when he's like, it just doesn't make any sense to me, man. It like, you know, you have RJ Barrett coming into his own. You have Kemba Walker. I don't know why Evan Fournier wasn't on the floor in the fourth quarter. Emmanuel
that one didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, quickly didn't have it going tonight. Why would you not have Evan Fournier, who's been playing really well in the clutch pretty much all season? Why wouldn't you have him on the floor? But listen, you know, as much as I hate the ISO Randle stuff, and you know, I still am I'm actually kind of encouraged overall after today's game, and I'll tell you why. Because I think we are witnessing RJ Barrett like become maybe not a superstar, but become a guy who can close for the Knicks.
Mm-hmm.
And you know the Knicks are going to end up making the Knicks are going to end up making the playoffs. Whatever seed they are is one thing. Who knows? But they'll probably end up making the playoffs. And when it comes to playoff time, it all comes about execution down the stretch.
Yeah.
All that really matters right now that I look for is how can we close out games and who can get us a bucket when we need to get a bucket. And, you know, like, I don't know if I know I'm taking up a lot of time, but I don't know if you remember this, but Steph Curry dropped 54 points in the Garden, and ever since he dropped 54 points in the Garden, that's when he really took off as Steph Curry. Before that, he was not that guy. I think RJ Barrett, like, he has confidence even after when he plays bad. Imagine how much confidence this guy has after he plays good, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what's so frustrating. We're giving the ball to Randle, stumbling, fumbling, when we could have RJ Barrett, like, you know, see what he's made of. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't understand why we always run through Randle, man. It's atrocious. I hate it. It's garbage.
Hang in there, man. Hang in there, my guy. Salute to Ari. Ari, start calling in on the Discord, man. For some reason, man, your connection with the switchboard is always off. Start calling in on the Discord, so we can get to you. What did you guys think in the chat of Ari's call, man? I saw some tomatoes. I saw some, you know, say he was preaching facts. I see the chat is divided on Ari tonight. So rate Ari's call. 1 being trash, 5 being solid, 1 through 5, man. Throw it in the chat. Let's see how the chat feels tonight about Ari. JD, you were just about to say something?
No, because he genuinely said, you know, he genuinely asked. He says he wanted to get an answer, and I think the answer to his question is the first quarter. When Randle plays like that, it really makes our defense that much more difficult to defend. Mm-hmm. And also, if you really look at that first quarter and you look at the games prior, I know we analyze Randle very tough and we're very analytical about his game to game. But when other opponents play the Knicks, they still are double teaming him. In other words, if you look at our roster, he is maybe our only player that other teams are double teaming. Like Kemba can get hot and the opponent is not going to double team Kemba. You know, any other player, Fournier gets hot. You saw it against the Celtics. Celtics didn't really make any adjustment. Mm-hmm. But if Randle plays well, then teams do adjust to him because they feel that if he gets going and he figures it out, that is an ingredient that makes, you know, the opponent, you as the opposing coach, you feel that if that guy gets going, then we can't stop that team.
Yeah, we gotta respect what he brings to the team, man. Like, you know, right. I know it's very frustrating because he is our guy, and sometimes again he makes boneheaded decisions, doesn't take care of the ball. The turnovers have been, you know, a real bad thing for him, real negative on his half. But you gotta respect his game a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? You gotta respect his and it is an isolation league. Every team goes ISO at some point. You know what I mean? It's just the guy that you put the ball in his hands. You gotta hope that he's making better decisions, and he just hasn't been. He hasn't.
And Pudge made a good point in the chat. He said they double team him because they know he will make a mistake, and that is one of the other things is he's getting challenged. And I said going into the season that will continue to be one of the things that opponents are going to do against the Knicks. They're going to test his ability to make the right play, and that's when it falls on him. But in terms of the grand scheme of things, if he gets going, this offense is pretty tough to beat.
That's a good point. It's knowing the trap's gonna be there, and it's knowing the trap is gonna come, and knowing that 9 times out of 10 it's gonna come in your direction. And we kind of saw this in the series against the Hawks. Julius Randle went on record and said he made it more complicated for himself, made that series more complicated than it had to be. But on the other side of that, if you watch a lot of the series, it's Julius doing it to Julius. He's falling for the trap. He's getting flustered. He's allowing them to double team him and know that he's still going to try to shoot the ball when he should pass the rock. It's knowing his mannerisms and it's knowing what ticks him off. And he fell for it every single time. And he fell for it again tonight, every single time.
Basketball 101. When you're trapped, somebody's open. That's
gotta move it fast, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. All right, a couple more calls before we wrap up. I heard Rich from Atlanta wants to refute Ari. He wants to battle, so we're gonna get to Rich. Daniel Mejia, I see you in the chat. Daniel was the eventual winner of our Knicks versus Raptors giveaway. The winner that we announced last night said he couldn't make it, so we did another draw, and Daniel won it. So Daniel, call us up. Give us your thoughts. 657-383-1509. But for right now, let's go to Rich down in the A. Rich, how you feeling?
Hey, what's going on, yo? Great show. Yo, what's Ari talking about that this has to do with Randle? First of all, if you look at the game tonight, Randle was 50%. My problem with Randle was he wasn't aggressive enough. And the problem I see is that we got a team with 2 new starters on, and that are starting to learn how to play together. We're starting to see Barrett grow right now before our very eyes. And Tibbs is still messing with the rotation. Why isn't Obi playing more? Because to me, his defense energizes the second unit. The other thing I'm talking about here, if you look at the fact that Randle had a bad second half, it isn't so much that he had a bad second half. It's just that we started falling in love with that 3 instead of doing the 2-man game, the penetrating and kick. Then he wants to know why Fournier is not in the game. Did he not watch the game where Fournier was all over the place on defense? He looked like a daggone one of those headless dolls that swing left and right. He didn't know what he was doing tonight. So that's why Fournier wasn't in the game. He just didn't have it defensively tonight. What we should have done tonight was when Anunoby started getting hot in the first quarter, as a coach, I wanted Tibbs to throw RJ on Anunoby from jump. Now, Anunoby might have still had a good game, but I think RJ would have shut it down a little more. He put RJ in the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter, Anunoby. I'm like, it's too late. The man is on fire. And so I don't know what Ari's talking about. Let me tell you something. I understand that ISO game. Everybody hates ISO, and so do I. But at the same time, when we start hitting them threes, we get into a low where we stop moving. In the second half, there was no cutting, there was no movement, and the ball was staying. It didn't matter if it was Randle, Kemba, Rose. The ball wasn't moving.
Yeah.
And what I did not like was the fact that when Obi came in, his movement caused something to happen. But as soon as he started getting a little bit of traction, Tibbs sat him down. I don't understand the rotation, and I understand when Taj came back from having the baby, we had to adjust the rotation. But you also got to look at who's hot and who's not. RJ hot. Well, you need to be running the plays for him. You need to be like, yo, 2-man game, Kemba, RJ, Mitch. He's not doing it right now. I think Tibbs is trying to let this team grow, and he's going to let them take their lumps because guess what? You're going to take lumps in the playoffs, and you better learn to come back. Tell Ari, watch the game. If you're going to come with a valid point. I understand you don't like the isolation, but stop being a hater because Randle did not really take many shots in the second half.
Yeah, but I mean, in fairness, Rich, I will say this: the turnovers in the second and third, it derailed us, man. I think it had a cascading effect on the entire team. Everybody was out. But
I blame that on Tibbs for allowing them to fall in love too much with the threes. Instead of calling a timeout and say, let's move the ball, let's run some cuts, let's get the ball moving like we did in the first half. That's not on the players. That's on the coach.
That's fair.
But at the same time, I know Tibbs is just saying, you know what? You just got to work your way out of this stuff because you better learn. Because when come playoff time, it's going to be the same way.
Let's go. Appreciate the call, man. Rich from Atlanta coming with that smoke. Rate that call in the chat. Rate that call in the chat.
I like it.
1 through 5. 1 being trash, 5 being great. Rate that call in the chat. Rich from Atlanta coming with that smoke for Ari tonight. Let's go. All right, a couple more people I want to hear from. I'm going to go to Danny next. Then I'm going to go to Australia, Muhammad, and then King Deej. All right, so Danny, what's going on, man? First off, how was the game, man? I know we didn't get the W, but you did win the tickets tonight. So how you feeling, bro?
Yo, what's good? Considering it was fun. I got to go with my dad. I got to go through the city for a little bit.
Nice.
Shout out to y'all for giving me the tickets. I appreciate it a lot. But hit that thumbs up button before I forget.
Of course, yeah. Let's do it.
I just want to say I'm normally a Julius apologist, but tonight his body language was bad. It was he played bad after the first quarter. He wasn't Julius that I'm used to defending, right?
Mm-hmm.
RJ though, you could feel the restlessness in the crowd of the people wanting RJ to get the ball.
I figured.
I found my way behind the Knicks bench, and I think you could see the visible slump in Julius's body. So you could see that as a leader, I think that's just bad body language coming from him. And also something else, I feel like Tibbs sat him too long. Even though he didn't really have it, he's definitely not going to have it sitting on the bench for 6 minutes. So I just felt like he wasn't really in the flow of the game, but
okay.
It was fun to watch there. I mean, I feel like this would have been harder to watch at home, but I appreciate the tickets. Thank you guys.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Daniel checking in. All right, let's go Australia. Muhammad, what's going on, man? Mo Bowling in the building. What's good, bro?
Salute and salam alaikum, as we say to everybody.
Yes, sir. How you
guys,
feeling?
fantastic show as usual.
Thanks, man.
Guys, thumbs up. There's like 1,200 people in the chat, so come on, we need more thumbs up.
Hit that thumbs up button for you,
work,
boys.
everybody, all you guys. Love it, guys. Look, it's an 82-game season. We take the lumps. We learn from this, have amnesia, move on to the next. I'm not going to sit here and put everything on Randle. You win as a team, you lose as a team. All around, the energy was low. I know the first quarter looked good, but I was looking, and I'm going to put it on the bench this time. The Knicks are predicated on not having one superstar who does it all. We're predicated on being a 10-man, 12-man team where everyone does their bit. I look at the bench, and you guys are looking at the numbers. What's the bench production like? It was pretty bad.
Yeah, it wasn't that
what
good
I can
tonight.
see. So I'm not going to put it on the starters. I'm not going to put it on Randle or RJ. These guys are playing like 35 minutes plus. I can't do 5 minutes, and I'm cooked, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was just one of those games. Balls are rattling in and out. There was just, I don't know. But what I'm looking forward to, how they come out of it in the next game and punch, I shouldn't say this, but the next team should feel the wrath of the Knicks coming out of it. And I feel bad for the entire Knicks squad. Just imagine what Tibbs is going to do now. I mean, I don't want to be there, you know. So let's feel sorry for the team because Tibbs is going to give them something. And let's just be positive that, look, it's an 82-game season. What is it? We've got like another 45 wins to go.
We got JD's got 45 burgers to go, man. He had an off night. He's off tonight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. No grill, no apron for him tonight. But we still got 45 more, man. We'll be all right.
So I reckon everyone just be positive. Let's smile. We got a lot of more games to go. We'll learn from this. Toronto was not a scrub team, and I think that's what we got to realize. They showed up, we didn't. But, you know, let's all be positive, guys. And you know what? Great show again, guys. Love it.
Appreciate
Love the
it,
content. I wish I was in the other continent. Enjoy, guys. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Mo Bowling from Australia. Mo Bowling, appreciate it, man. Yeah, we did figure, CK, you know, this is going to be a tougher week. Again, this Raptors team coming in early season, but a top 10 defense. As we know, top 10 defense. You're gonna be playing a hungry Pacer team that's starving to win. 1-6. You got to go to Indiana. Got to go on the road. That's going to be a tough one. It's still a scrappy team.
They actually got a win tonight.
I was gonna say, did they win tonight?
That game, they won 131-18 at home against the Spurs. So now we're going on the road in Indiana. That game just became a little bit more difficult as the Pacers have a little bit more confidence now. So, which is, I think, it's a good thing for us.
Yeah. Then you got to go see. Then you got to go see the Freak, and then you got a Cleveland team that's been playing well and playing good defense and had some quality wins. So we got to tighten up. That's the bottom line. We got to tighten up, man.
Like he just said, like the caller just said, how do we respond? That's what I want to see. We saw 3 games in a row where we struggled with our leads, and this one was the worst of the 3 because it happened a lot earlier than the other 2. Now we have to go into this game in Indiana against, like JD just said, a very inspired Indiana Pacers team because they need to get some more W's to get back in the right direction. How do we respond? That's what I want to see. It doesn't get any easier. So
that is
challenge accepted. Let's see.
Yes, sir. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. All right, last call of the night. We're going to go to King Deej. King Deej on the check-in. King Deej, closing the show tonight, man. How you feeling? No pressure, bro.
What's up, man? Yo, run it up.
Let's go.
Shout out to Big. Shout out to Four Horsemen. I really took my time.
We got a lady here. We got a lady here, too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Four-horse squad tonight.
Well, then it's DX. She's China.
Okay.
I got you. But this is my first time calling all season. Like Jay Boogie always does it, call in on a bum night. Now that we're good, I'm not gonna call in every night. But I wanted to wait and see. So I got to see what I got to see, and what I want to say in the chat is, listen, I'm not a Randle hater. I love Randle. Everybody knows that. Positive 100%. But what I wanted him to learn from the Atlanta series, and nobody's blaming him for losing the Atlanta series. He was getting double teamed. What I wanted him to work on in the summer, he's not showing me. I got to see you be able to swing out of the double team, bro. Come back and get it back. If you want to get it back, repost, get closer. Because he's not aware. And I'm not blaming Randle for this game. Truthfully, in my opinion, I'm blaming Tibbs. D Rose was off tonight. He had a lot of turnovers. He had 2 turnovers. 1 for 7. He looked like he was slow out there today.
Yeah,
you gotta use McBride and Grimes. They're just sitting there. You gotta speed up the game, Tibbs. But in Randall's defense, he's not taking as many shots as he normally would. He just can't play out of a double team, and that's all I wanted him to work on this summer. You got to see where it's coming from, and you got to swing it out quickly. Ari was right. And everybody knows I'm not always on Ari and Jay from Florida's side, but he was right, bro. You got to get that ball out your hands. The best thing that Carmelo Anthony was able to do, even though he gets a knock, is he can play through a double team. Randle has to learn that. And I'm not going to bash him. He's going to get to that point, or else we're not going to be able to take off. But other than that, I blame this on Tibbs. Nick Nurse, you got to give credit to the Raptors, man. They was coaching up.
Yeah.
They played defense. And they did it without Scotty Barnes and Pascal Siakam. I don't know if anybody newsflash, Scotty Barnes, he's doing his thing. He's doing his thing, averaging 18 and 10. He's leading in points and rebounds. We got lucky. So I just want them to hold the rope a little bit, grip it together, man. It's just one loss. But the thing that I'm seeing is that we need a closer. And whether that be Kemba, Rose, or even RJ. RJ already showed you that he could do it on the road. And at least he's learning how to do it on the road. And honestly, it's just by Randall's position. He's a big man that's a tweener. You can't have the ball in your hands to close the game for that long. I know everybody in the chat doesn't like ISO, but CP's right. ISO is everywhere in the league. That's why the Celtics is losing, because they don't have anything else but that. So, just everybody take it easy.
Yeah.
It's one game, but I just need Randall to work on the double team, bro. I'm not asking you for much, but you got to learn where that double team is coming from. You can't hold it. You can't turn your back against it. You got to watch where it's coming from, because that's what it cost us. Again, the game was decided by turnovers.
Big time.
That's all you have to look at. Just turnovers.
17 turnovers, man. Give him 20 points.
Your voice is so calming, by the way.
It's calming because I was stressed out. And CP, you're right. But I was over here stressing.
That wasn't me, bro. That was Ash talking to you, bro. She talking
I know.
to you right now, man.
I'm agreeing with you, CP, on the turnovers.
Okay.
I know Ash was saying my voice is calming, but
okay.
I'm right now, the Knicks is good. I just need them to get it together, man.
Nice.
I need them to get it together. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm out. You know what I mean? Yo, Angel, she's yours. All right, I see it in the chat. She's yours. Chill out.
I was going to say. Shout out to King Deej.
Indeed.
Damn, King D slipped the doubles like, ew, okay. That was a good job, man. Nice.
Man.
All right, well, listen, we got all the frustration out. It was a tough loss. Wednesday's another day. We back at it. So to everybody in the chat once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Still hit 1,000 people on the check-in. Let's get those likes up. Hit that thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button. We're creeping up on 44,000 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. You just hit 43 like last week, so we going up and it continues. So keep hitting that like button. Keep hitting that subscribe button and sharing these videos. Very important. Great show.
My man's handed me my first L, so
yeah, he did.
In my
How do you feel right now, man? I mean, King
my
D,
first L.
he slipped out of the double team.
Before.
Like, I mean,
He
that was
literally-
MJS.
Yo, he Euro stepped my compliment.
Yeah, he just got up out of there quick fast.
Yo, my man was bugging.
Yeah.
He totally Euro stepped my whole compliment. I've never felt like this before.
King Deej, man, I gotta give you some credit, man.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Bro,
I
now
don't
I'm
know,
past
my
that
feelings
nigga
are
right to
kinda
CP,
Yeah.
bro.
My feelings are kind of hurt.
He straight gave you the Matumbo, man.
Hit her with the
I would
Manu.
never flirt with any other man ever again. I'm
Yeah.
never gonna shoot my shot again.
King D, she was talking to you, man. Straight gave it a Matumbo, man. Man, not
Hit her
today.
with the,
Hilarious.
hit her with the Manu.
Yeah.
That was absolutely
D
hilarious.
Wade Euro step. Like, woo.
And
CP.
The fact that he doubled down on it too, said, "Oh, I know what she said." I was like,
yeah. I was just making sure he heard.
You guys don't hear that? You guys don't hear that?
That was incredible.
Do you hear that, CP?
What's that?
I think that's Angel calling.
Well, not tonight, 'cause I shut down the phones. But great
He's trying
show.
to get through.
Yeah, great show. Been a long night. Let me get to the super chats, man. Shout out my guy J Cal in the chat. J Cal, how you feeling, man? Checking in from the Bay Area. Let's go. We'll be all right, man. You know, it's just one of those nights. Got to learn from it. I always like that Raptor team, man. You know, I always like that Raptor team.
Big Nick Nurse fan over here.
Yeah.
Not tonight though, but yeah. I hear you.
Yeah, not tonight, man. My cousin texted me because they're Raptors fans, but the big supporters of the show. Yeah, he was just telling me, man, don't sleep. And I already knew it was going to be one of those nights. I knew it was going to be a tough one, man. You know. Yeah. But, hey, 5-2 in the campaign. And Wednesday is will be here before you know it. So I'm going to shout out Gotta Be Legend sends a super chat. He says IQ in Summer League was 33% and 24% respectively from 3. Preseason 33% and 28% from 3. And so far to start the season, he's 28% from the field goals percentage, and 22% from 3. Something isn't right. Nobody shoots that bad for 2 months. I mean, you know, is it a sophomore slump, CK? I don't know. You know, you just got to give him some more time, you know?
Give it time. Give it time.
Yeah. Let's give him time. You still made some solid plays out there, but his shot's just not there. Shout out to 13's in the super chat. He says, from Tibbs to Sims, our entire team played terrible. No hustle. Were they even playing at MSG? Tibbs making huge mistakes. Would also love to see RJ get the ball more as he's on the wing where he can shoot or drive. Tom Herrera says RJ's Mamba mentality. Julius says mellow mentality. The pouting and bad body language is a terrible look. Put the team first and on both ends of the floor. Kenny Gales, everyone not named RJ didn't want to win. No hustle, no effort. Port Randall is not it, Chief. Julius got cooked. Tibbs got out-coached. SMH embarrassing. Heck, Brizo says we have a superstar in the making. We're holding back. 31 on 66% shooting last 2 games. 21 out of 31. Get him out the damn corner. Know who he's talking about. RJ. Davon Ellis, I got that. Ike Taylor, appreciate that. Heck, Brizo says, what game does RJ have with 20 out of 23 shots? 40, 50, SMH. David Claudio super chat says Randle didn't deserve to play in that fourth quarter. He looked uninterested on defense and becomes a black hole on offense. Let Obi get burned if you're not into it. Charlie, shout out my guy Charlie, sends a $10 super chat. He says, I'm getting back from the garden right now. Thinking about the second half makes me want to throw up. We need to do better. Hashtag pray for Esteban. All right, so Esteban is he's in trouble, man. First he was locked up, JD. Then he was freed up. When we saw Charlie and them at Mustang Harry's, Esteban was free. And now he needs our prayers. So whatever you need, Charlie, man, we got you, man. Shout out Charlie, Michael, the whole gang. Appreciate them. All right, couple more. I see a couple more. I'll just read those off, and then we will wrap. Shout out to. Give me a sec. Loading up. Shout out to. All right, super chats aren't loaded. Shout out to Prize Picks, promo code KFTV, prizepicks.com. You could also get the Prize Picks app from the App Store and Google Play. Shout out to David Claudio sends another super chat. He says, you can tell RJ wanted this game badly because that man was begging for the ball, and you could tell Randle wasn't interested because he wasn't even setting picks. Shaking my damn head. You done know 2G, great name, says the second Randle gets frustrated, he might as well go home. He's completely useless and out of his game at that point. Bailey sends a super chat, says Ash got to work on her Aussie accent more. So Bailey, the Aussie Ash, the ultimate judge and jury, says it's all right, but it's not real. So keep working.
I mean, obviously it's not real. Like, what?
I guess
he's a tough judge, man.
He's a tough judge.
Thank you.
Tough crowd.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Yeah,
like, I'm
tough
aware.
Tough crowd. David Claudio says, people called me crazy when I said RJ could become the number one option. I lost David's comment. This season and run more of the offense through RJ. He wants to be great, and he's showing us right now. Bailey sends another super chat. He says, who's doing a fantasy draft? I guess he wants in. Isaiah Schulterbrand says, Randle got a Shanghai Sharks jersey, getting ready for him after that performance. Oof. Tough crowd. My guy Hoodies Vintage sent the super chat, says terrible loss, just got home perplexed for a tough-nosed coach. Tibbs sure enables RJ Randle ISO hero ball. Energy was off and effort was lacking. Hashtag free RJ. Trapboy TV sent the super chat, says Knicks fans got to stop being so fickle. They are letting Randle play ISO to get him back in his bag. RJ will free himself. Don't worry, we are good. JB Floating says, yo, where's the shop at? I need that KFTV hat. Hashtag Charlie where you at TMK. TM, just throw the link to the store in the chat. And shout out to JB Floating. John Kim says hashtag free Grimes, better defender and shooter. Hashtag bench IQ. So they calling for it already, man. My guy IQ is not safe right now. Grimes hive is starting to emerge. Just 7 games into the season, but we knew it was gonna happen, man. We knew it was gonna happen. Just have patience. I know a lot of people looking for, Grimes and McBride. JD, I just don't know where these windows are gonna come from for these guys to get a couple minutes. I just don't see it. I don't know. Could be me. I don't know.
It's gonna take time.
It's gonna take time, man. It's gonna take time. Real quick on the blue snaps. A lot of people have been asking about the blue snaps. For some reason, it's like a supplier shortage on the blue snaps, man. We're working on a new supplier. For all the merch, actually, rather than spring. So stay tuned for that. I'll put an announcement out there. But yeah, the blue snaps have been out of stock for a while. I'm trying to get those back. A lot of people are asking for it. So stay tuned. Any last words? Ash, CK, JD. Before we get up at it.
King D, just all love. You don't have to keep apologizing to me.
He's...
Listen, even Michael Jordan missed some shots. It's okay.
It's all right. You'll bounce back, Ash. You bounce back, man. You'll be all right, man. All right, we out of here. Peace. Great show. Peace.